Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I've got an exciting video for you today because, well, I've just bought this. It's a 1986 Range Rover 3.5 V8. And what I'm going to do with this is something quite interesting. A couple of days ago, a viewer called Wayne got in touch and asked me if I wanted to buy his 40-year-old Range Rover. And obviously, I said yes. This car's got quite an interesting backstory. So originally it was built in Solihull, as they all were, then it was shipped out here to Australia. This is a proper Australian delivered car. It's been here since 1986, which, happily, means there's no rust on it at all. Wayne, who's originally from Yorkshire, hence the Cross of St George hanging proudly outside, bought this from the first owner. So it's only had two owners from new. He bought it like 24 years ago. But it's been in his garage now since 2014. If you come around here, look, we've got several stickers here. We've got a sticker here for the Yorkshire Dales National Park, but here, this is the expiry date. So it's been off the roads here in Victoria since 2014. Now we're up here in rural Victoria today, and my plan with this is to get it on the back of a trailer, take it to a Land Rover specialist and do some work to it. Once it's running, well, it kind of runs at the moment, but it's running a bit rough. And also there's quite a bad oil leak from the rear main oil seal, so I need to get that sorted. It also needs 4 tyres because they've been, well, they haven't moved really for 12 years, so it's going to need 4 new tyres. Although the tread's all right, they're starting to crack. So it does need a little bit of TLC this, but my plan was, once I've done all that TLC, I think I might ship it back to the UK. It would be really difficult to find a nice original example like this in the UK because they just don't exist. Thanks to our harsh winters and the fact that we salt the roads there, most of them have just rotted away. My other Range Rover Classic, my 1992, I've spent a fortune welding various panels back together because it was like a car from bedrock. Whereas this hasn't got a single spot of rust on it. It's unbelievable, really. I honestly don't think I've ever seen a Range Rover Classic like this in such good shape that's completely original. I've seen them in good condition, don't get me wrong, in the UK, but they've always had a full respray, loads of welding work, whereas this is completely original. Look at the back arches, for example. There's just no rust. It's completely solid. Let me tell you a little bit about it then. So it's a 1986, which is probably the oldest Range Rover Classic I've ever bought, and it's the 3.5 before they upgraded it to the 3.9. So it's the old Rover V8, and this is the Vogue trim before they called it the Vogue. So what it is I think it's called a Highline or something spec. So this in its day was as good as it got. It's got air conditioning, it's got a nice automatic transmission, it's got central lock-in, it's got 4 electric windows. So this really was a top spec car. I think as well, 1986 was the first year that this got fuel injection rather than a carburetor. So that's probably a bonus because I wouldn't want to keep an old carburetor car. Let me give you a closer look then. May as well start off around the back then. We've got the original exhaust system down there. Wayne fitted this tow bar and he's told me that he's never towed anything. He did have a small garden trailer, but he's never actually hooked it up to this. So we've got a nice original car that's never towed. Not entirely sure how you... Oh, there we go. We've got the original spare there. We've got the parcel shelf. This, I think, is how you get into the boot, is it? There we go. Now this is the original steering wheel. Wayne said that he's put a later steering wheel on it just because they're a slightly smaller diameter. This one he struggled to get his legs under, but I think what I'll do one of my first jobs is put this back because I prefer that. It's nice and original. We've got some mud flaps there as well and some number plate surrounds. But yeah, there's just no rust anywhere. It's in really good condition. If this were in the UK now, this would be completely rotten. There'd be holes in it even. Got more Yorkshire Dales stickers there. It just needs a bit of TLC really, and this was one of the things that Wayne said. He wanted to sell it to somebody who would appreciate it. He said he really didn't want to sell it to somebody who would stick bull bars on it and take it out into the bush. So he wanted to sell it to somebody who would give it the TLC it deserves. But I mean, look at the chassis and stuff. There's just no rust anywhere. It's in really, really good condition. Again, if we look in the back, I didn't realise actually, but these wheel arches here were never colour coded until the later models, like my 92. They were always black like this. But yeah, no rust. We've got the original upholstery here. I'm guessing there's a bit of sun damage here because that would have been the original colour. Can you see the colour difference? The fabric here is slightly come away from the foam underneath it, but we might be able to fix that. either take it off and tighten it, you know, so we can pull it tight, or put some fresh adhesive behind it maybe. But the carpet mats are nice and original. Look at the colour of the carpets as well. It's a really nice clean car, this. Now Wayne used this as his daily car from, I think, 2002, I think he said, up to 2014. Then he got a new car but didn't really want to get rid of this one. So instead he just kept it in his garage. We've got the original books there. So it just seemed like the perfect candidate really for a very light, very mild restoration. Not even restoration really, just a bit of TLC to bring it up to scratch. Up front then, yeah, he's put this latest steering wheel on, which I think I'll change. I think I prefer the old style. It's an automatic. I think they're a 4-speed auto. And he told me as well that the air conditioning is ice cold. The headline is in good condition, it's not all sagging. When he sent me some pictures of it, I thought it was sagging actually, but this is how it was. It's sort of done in two separate bits. And then there are a couple of little dents and stuff on the panels which we can pop out. One there and one there, but we can sort that out. There's no rust on the scuttle panel or anything. No corrosion. He's had a new windscreen in it at some point because it failed its roadworthy on a stone chip, so that's been replaced. It's got the nice 3-spoke alloys. Like I said, it's going to need a set of tyres, which I can sort out. But it's just been here in the garage on trickle charge for the last 12 years. So what you're looking at now is the old 3.5 litre Rover V8. Now it runs, this car, it runs and drives, but it's leaking oil badly from the rear main oil seal, so I need to sort that out. So I don't want to take it very far. What I'm going to do is just load it up onto the back of the trailer and get it to the Land Rover specialist. I like the fact that this is a nice early one with that vertical slatted grille, because I've never had one of these before. It does look nice and old and period correct. I've even got a light under the bonnet there. It's almost like Land Rover knew this was going to break down. It's just completely original. And if we look under here, I don't know if you can see this. Again, it's just in really, really good shape. No rust anywhere. You've also on this one got the exposed hinges. And of course on the later models, the facelift, like my blue one, they changed that slightly. I must think this is a really cool thing. Now, I've got two options with this. I could just keep it here in Australia and use it every time I'm back here, but I think what I might do is ship it to the UK. I think it'd be quite cool to have one there that's completely original and never been welded. Whether I'll keep it or sell it, I'm not sure, but I think there'd be a slightly bigger audience there for it, maybe. But my plan was to get it back on the road here and see how we go with it. Now I checked this out on Car Vertical and it was all clear, so it's never been stolen, never been written off, no outstanding finance, nothing like that. So we're all good to go. By the way, don't forget to use my promo code HIGHPEAK, all one word, HIGHPEAK, for 20% off your Car Vertical check. I'll leave the link in my bio, but all you need to do is go to carvertical.com and type in the reg or the VIN. It's really handy actually that it works here in Australia. So I'm really happy with this. This, by the way, being the early pre-facelift, you don't have a fuel door. On mine, my blue one, you've got the fuel door that covers that. But yeah, what do you think? Have I lost the plot here, or is this quite a cool thing? I'm looking forward to getting it out and driving it. Really. Let me try and fire it up then. Now, Wayne said the injectors could do with a clean, because it's been sitting for 12 years. It's a long time really, isn't it? So I think what I'll do is give it a full service and maybe get the injectors cleaned as well. I'm not sure whether this will start, to be honest. Nearly. Not much luck really. Let me try that. Third time lucky. You ready? There we go, right. I think, to be honest, if I take my foot off the accelerator, it's just going to conk out. And also the fuel in it's probably very old, so I don't really want to do it any damage. So what we're going to do is get it to the Land Rover specialist and get them to give it a full service, sort out that rear main oil seal and whatever else it needs. See if they can clean the injectors as well. Replace all the fluids. I am going to end up massively overspending on this, but I think it's worth it. It's done 285,000 kilometers. If you have a look here, which for a 40-year-old car now isn't that bad, is it? We've got air conditioning, which is quite rare, really. Well, certainly in the UK. My blue one, for example, doesn't come with that. We've got a CD player there with an auxiliary. We've got all my buttons down here. We've got an analog clock. I love the driving position of these. You just feel like the king of the road in it. You sit up nice and high and you can see clearly over the bonnet there. So I'm quite pleased with this. If you don't know much about the Range Rover Classic, allow me to bore you for a couple of minutes. Now, the Range Rover first came out in 1970, so by 1986, when this one was launched, it was already quite an old design, but they continued with this shape until 1994 when it was replaced with a P38. It was available as a petrol or a diesel. Now, thankfully, this one's the big petrol V8, which would be my choice, and it's an auto, not a manual, which again, I'm quite pleased with. It was created by a guy called Charles Spencer King, who wanted to create a car that was still a go-anywhere rugged workhorse, but had a few nice luxury touches to it. I know I've done plenty of Range Rover content on this channel over the years, but I still think the Range Rover is the ultimate luxury 4x4. One thing I haven't told you yet is the price. Now, I've bought this for just $5,500, which in UK pounds is more or less half that. It's about 2 for 1 at the moment. So I've paid about £2,800 for this, which I think is quite cheap given this isn't rusty at all. I know I'm going to have to probably spend the same on it again, on tyres, rear main oil seal, full service, all that stuff. But yeah, I think I've got a bit of a deal really. Now, even if I take it back to the UK, it might cost me, again, the same again, to get it back to the UK. But there, it could be worth 15 or 20 grand. I don't know what to do with it really. I'm not sure. It would be quite a cool thing to keep here, wouldn't it? Let me know in the comments below what you'd do with it, unless it involves a scrapyard, in which case I don't want to know. If it's something positive, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. I could see me driving around in it. Last time I was in Queensland, I saw one of these with a surfboard strapped to the roof, and it looked so cool. It was like something you'd see in California or something. So I might just buy myself a surfboard, even though I don't know how to surf, just for the aesthetics. Right, well, I think that's all I can tell you really, so make sure you stay tuned for part 2. Part 2, if my mechanic that I found here, a Land Rover specialist, is happy to be on camera, part 2 will be him fixing it up. So I will take you there, get it up on the ramp, have a look under it properly, and crack on with the work. And keep your eyes peeled, because one day you might see this car in the High Peak area. It'd be quite a cool story, wouldn't it really? Started life in England, made its way to Australia for 40 years, and then worked its way back. Maybe I'm just too sentimental, who knows. We could actually take this for a road trip to the Yorkshire Dales, where all these stickers are originally from. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? Who knows? But yeah, for $5,500, I couldn't really say no. So I think that's about it, guys and girls. I'm going to get this on the back of the trailer now and take it over to the Land Rover specialist. Yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Wish me luck. See ya.